There she is. And just as you're seated here, just allow yourself to arrive. Hello, Laura.
Good morning, Laura.
Oh, I didn't see Eileen before, did I? Hi,
Yeah.
Eileen. Gorgeous. And I just want you to tune in with your breath a little bit and just see where it's arriving in your body. Is it tight? Is it deep? Is it expansive or shallow? Just take a moment and then maybe just begin to rub your hands on the tops of your thighs. Nice circular motion. I see Laura's cat Taco has decided to join us today too. And just notice the touch of your hand to your thigh. The texture of your skin or your clothes. The temperature. The sound. And as we start to introduce gentle, neutral, or positive sensations to the body, we send a message to our nervous system that we are safe. Maybe you go the other way with your hands. Go slow. Take your time. Know where to be. And then we can expand this movement to the hands as we've been starting class off with the havening technique. Joining the two sides of the brain, the two hemispheres. Yeah, Daniel, maybe the body rocks as well. That soothing, rocking sensation. And then we're going to end up in this beautiful self hug. So however that looks to you, left hand over right, elbow, or, the other way, whichever is your natural state. And then as I talk for a moment, I just want you to begin to gently tap alternately your left and right hand. Maybe inhaling through the nose, exhaling out the mouth. Allowing your shoulders to drop away from your ears, your jaw to soften. And today we wanted to introduce the idea of pattern interruption in your life. And this is something I've been playing with a lot lately. And so I recognized a pattern in my life where my brain immediately went to a series of thoughts or a series of loops of thoughts that literally was disrupting every single day of my life. And it was because my routine was so set, because it had been so deeply ingrained. So let's say I would get up, I would wash my face, I would bring the dogs downstairs, I would take them out, I would come back in, I would make my coffee. So my every morning was happening in the same way. And then when I got to a point in my late morning, I found my thoughts going to a place that really wasn't helpful for me or for anyone else. So what I started to do was introduce some pattern interrupting into my mornings. So that can look like anything, like if you want to stop tapping, you can certainly do that. Go back to that rubbing of the thigh. What I started to do was I now wake up and I brush my teeth with my opposite hand. And that's not pretty. It's really not pretty. And it feels a little bit weird. And you might not even feel like your teeth are as clean as they were with the other hand. And then a couple days ago, I started beating my eggs with the opposite hand and cracking them with the opposite hand. And then actually, I have scrambled eggs most mornings, cooking them with the opposite hand. And I have begun showering in my daughter's bathroom. So I'm introducing all these patterns, these new patterns to my brain that are creating and expanding my neural pathways so that, and I'm starting to notice, it hasn't been that long, but I'm starting to notice little shifts so that my brain isn't constantly traveling down those same pathways that I've created. And I'm introducing new things into my routine that are kind of exciting it, right? We get stuck in these spaces that we do the same things over and over and over again, and they start to become mundane, right? You start to have a challenging time, maybe expressing gratitude in the morning, maybe, getting excited about your days because it becomes, and everyone has routines and they're not bad. They are absolutely not bad. But once in a while, if you find a habit that you're doing, I'm trying to think. Are there any habits that you do that you want to interrupt? Like, even as far as I pick my cuticles, right? That is unconscious. It just happens. So every time now I notice I'm picking my cuticles, maybe I can begin to rub my fingers so that maybe over time the rubbing of the fingers becomes a more positive and a healthier habit. So it's just making these tiny little interruptions of our habitual habits that we don't like. And habits are not bad. But if you find something in your life that's happening over and over and over again, a way to slowly begin to shift away from that is just to shift things up a little bit. As soon as the weather is, like it is this morning or getting a little bit better, I'm going to commit to sitting outside for 10 minutes every morning and just feeling the sunshine or the warmth on my body. That's another really great pattern interrupt in your day and a way to begin your day with a positive mindset. So we're going to introduce this today in class and we're going to shift things up a little bit. And sometimes it feels a little bit uncomfortable at first because we're so used to the soothing of the routine, but over time, it's really amazing for your brain and for your nervous system. So when you're ready, I hope your legs aren't too far asleep or too much asleep. We're going to come to a standing position. Okay, so shifting it up a little bit, we're going to come to stand and we're just going to begin with a little bit of Qigong this morning. So go ahead and shake out your legs. Shake them out, shake out your hands a little bit. Yeah, wake yourself up. Come on over, Marge. And we're just going to begin with a little gentle movement that's attached to the breath. And the breath in this practice is going to be an inhale through the nose and then an exhale out the mouth. And the exhale out the mouth can be simply dropping the jaw and just allowing the breath to release. Or if you're feeling like you need to release a little bit more energy in your body, you can even purse your lips a little bit and not forcefully, but with a little bit more of intention, release the exhale from the body. So something like this. Okay, so go ahead and have a soft knee. Yeah, feet hips width apart. And we're just gonna bring the palms facing outward, keeping the knees soft. I'm sorry, palms facing inward. That was not the truth. And we're just going to begin by inhaling the arms up on the inhale. turning the palms around and exhaling, bending the knees gently on the exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. And continue on at your own pace, really taking your time, finding the space to slow down. Calming the mind, calming the body. A lot of times we're in that state where we feel like we have to go, go, go. Just 2 more times like this, listening to the beauty of your breath, right? Listening to that soothing breath. What does it feel like to slow down like this first thing, right? And then go ahead and let your arms hang a little bit. And we're just going to begin to lift the right arm towards the ceiling, left arm out to the side, just a gentle little movement here. Again, connecting the breath. And have you ever seen groups of people doing Qigong in the city or in a park? And how magically peaceful and beautiful they look? I want you to bring that into your own body. Knees are still soft, right? Allowing for that flow of energy, that grounding in your lower body. Flow in the upper body. I wish you could hear Margie's breath. It's soothing my mind.
Mine too.
And then we'll come back up to center, reach the arms up gently. And then just as you exhale, you're going to come down, bend the knees, the wrists will cross, and we'll come back up. Keep on like this, soft knees, maybe crossing the opposite wrist every time you go around. Nice, you guys. Feeling that opening, that space in the heart center. Waking up your shoulders. Again, 2 more times. We're ballerinas, by the way.
I'm looking at Jen. feeling
So
like she looks
graceful.
very beautiful and ballerina-like.
And then arms come up, and then just allow them to hang at your sides, maybe rocking back and forth. And shake it out. And then I'll turn it over to my friend.
So when you're ready to come to stillness, let's bring those hands together and Anjali Mudra right at the heart. And if your eyes aren't closed, close them for a moment. That was such a beautiful practice and like completely shifted the way I'm feeling, my energy. Why don't you take a moment to notice if it did the same for you? Or notice what you're feeling right now in this moment, allowing that all to settle. So that in itself was a beautiful warm-up, right? But let's do a little more warming up. And as Jen spoke about a little earlier, just kind of mixing things up. I feel like even in our asana, we we generally know where we're going next, right? Some because of what would feel good next, but also because we get in our patterns. So can we, keep an open mind and body as we maybe move in a different way, beginning standing instead of working up to standing. So continuing with a bit of a warm up, maybe take an extra breath or moment here to set an intention if there's something you're working with this morning. And then when you're ready, just let the inhale float those arms back up overhead. Let the exhale bring them out to the sides again. Again, maybe very similar to what we just did. And inhale to float them back up as those palms connect. And exhale to join them and bring them back down to the heart. Next time you take that inhale, sweep those arms back up overhead. I'm going to settle here with those arms reaching up. Spread the fingertips a little wider. Maybe you even want to step your feet a little wider if that feels comfortable to you here. And we'll continue with that beautiful side stretch by taking hold of the left wrist with the right hand and a little reach up towards the ceiling, finding length. A tilt to the right as you stretch that left side body. And be so deep in your body here that notice if you want to maybe bend into that left knee, or maybe it would feel nice to bend into the right knee. I want you to take a couple of breaths here. It can be stillness, or it could be a tilt forward, a tilt back. It may feel nice to bend that left elbow and then, bring it back to straight. Pushing deeply into your mat, into the earth with the feet. As you breathe yourself back up to center, we'll release the wrist and maybe circle the hands for a moment or wiggle the fingers for a moment. Setting up for second side, left hand, right wrist. A sweet in-breath to find length in space. Beautiful. Nice, Barbara. Reaching to the left here. Again, all the options, all the things, right? Maybe a bend into one knee, then the other, or just a little tilt forward with the upper half and a tilt back. Nice, guys. Nice, Jean. You feel complete. We'll let that breath bring us back to center. We'll release the wrist. One more breath or two with those arms reaching up. Maybe this time the gaze lifts up. And as you exhale this time and those arms come out to the sides, can we bend the knees and settle the hands on the thighs? Coming into a bit of a standing cat and cow. So maybe you're noticing your feet are still and your legs are still, a bit wider apart. If you want to adjust that spacing, feel free to do that. And then riding the wave of the breath, that sweet inhale, arching the back, lifting the chest, that exhale, rounding the back, dropping the chin. Nice, Daniel. Beautiful, guys. Eileen and Janet, Laura, Jane, gorgeous. So next time you find yourself taking that exhale and that little fold into yourself, a rounding of the back, linger here for a moment until you need the next in-breath. And as you take that next inhale, you can keep a bend in the knees, but can we begin to roll ourselves up, letting the arms come out, maybe even slightly behind you and up overhead. Top of that in-breath, right? Feel that openness, that space. And then as you exhale, allow yourself to float forward. Fingertips all the way to earth or shins here. And then we'll inhale to extend halfway. Nice. Exhale to fold a little deeper. Don't be afraid to bend the knees here. We can do that again. Inhaling to extend. Exhaling to fold. And then since we're here, let's stay for another moment or two. Again, please play with bending knees if this feels good to you. I want you to bring your left hand to the outside of the right wrist. I want you to bring the right hand to your low back or your right hip. And maybe
She meant right leg, not wrist.
Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
Left hand,
Left hand,
right calf or
right
shin.
calf or shin.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jen.
That's okay.
We make a whole, right?
Together we make one.
Together we make one. A
There you go, Daniel.
sweet
That's perfect, hun.
Twist open to the right.
And bend
To-
your knees as necessary here. This is an awkward one. Yeah.
When you're ready to release, come back to center and, maybe a little sway from side to side to receive.
Yeah, hang out of that pelvis. Let the spine hang out of the pelvis. Soft knees.
As you're ready, right hand to the outside of the right shin or wherever it lands. Left hand to the left hip or low back. And a gentle opening to the left. And again, yeah, encouraging you to bend those knees. Maybe that right one bends even deeper than the left.
And if it feels like too much on that shoulder, the upper shoulder, don't even go far. You know what I mean? You don't even have to lift the hand around to your back. Be gentle with your body.
Exhaling back to center.
Margie's very bendy, we must remember.
And a beautiful inhale to roll up when you're ready. If you want to take those arms back up overhead, go for it. We're going to settle the hands at the hips when you're ready to do so. Maybe an inhale through the nose, maybe an exhale through the mouth. Feel the earth beneath you. Feel the breath moving through you. And in the spirit of being super gentle with ourselves here, I encourage you to stay standing up and just step that left foot back. And we're going to pivot. We're on the side of our mat.
Yeah.
But we're going to pivot to the side of our mat. So you're facing your wide side. And we're going to set ourselves up for warrior two. So those right toes will spin forward. We'll bend into that right knee. We'll notice if we need to adjust the space between the feet. And we can inhale as we sweep the arms out.
Nice, you guys.
A little pulse, right, of the body forward and back. Or maybe your next in-breath, you want to straighten the front leg and reach the arms up. Big exhale, maybe through the mouth, back to warrior two. Inhaling as you reach up. Exhaling. Maybe one more of those if you're coming along for that ride. Warrior two.
Strengthen those legs.
And can we find center? That shift forward, that reach back, that center place. Sliding the left hand down the left thigh, we inhale the right arm up and over. Breath into side body, both sides. Breath brings us back to warrior two. Release that right forearm onto the right thigh. Bring that left arm up and over. Nice.
Stay connected to your breath.
And when you're ready to release from this, guys, release the hands to the earth. Frame the right foot. Spin up the back heel. We're in that lunge pose. Maybe blocks under hands. So I'm gonna give it you a choice. I'm gonna step forward, coming back to standing forward fold. What do you want to do here? Downward facing dog, standing forward fold. We're gonna eventually come into our second side of warrior two.
Or why don't you do something a little different today? Mix it up. So ordinarily you go into a flow or child's pose or whatever feels comfortable for you at this moment. Maybe you go into a squat here. Maybe you just go into plank and then go back and forth from plank to downward facing dog. Laura's,
We're gonna meet in that second side. So take your time. I'm gonna turn myself around so I'm still facing you and you're not facing, or my back isn't facing you. Coming into our second side of warrior two. Again, totally taking your time, going at your own pace. Adjusting feet. Extending arms. And then do you want to hang out for a couple of breaths in stillness, or do you want to do that inhale to reach up and straighten leg? Exhale to come back down. It's like we're lubricating those joints. We are lubricating those joints.
And some days it feels good to hold.
Yeah.
Other days it feels better to flow. Right? We hold, we build strength, we build foundation. We flow, we release energy, we move things throughout the body.
Listening to body. Settling into warrior two, and you're ready to do that. Nice exhale through the mouth, that earthy energy, right? And then we'll inhale the right arm down the right leg. The left arm will come up and over. Meet yourself where you are. It doesn't need to be a super deep pose here. And as Jen said, use that breath as you bring yourself back to center. Release the left forearm onto the left thigh.
Staying lifted in that side body, and then feel that length, that energy line coming all up the right side of your body.
When your body is ready to come on out of this, you're going to release those hands. You're going to frame that front foot, swing up that back heel. And I'd like everyone to step back to downward facing dog here. Move a little bit. Maybe this is your first one if you didn't take it in between. Right? Bend the knees. Pedal the heels. So I'm going to give you an offering. If this doesn't work for you, please don't force it. But in the spirit of mixing things up here, let's begin to walk the hands back to the feet. And if it's available to you, you can actually set the feet, bend the knees, and bring yourself into a squat pose. I'm going to adjust our camera a little bit here.
And if squat's not working for you today, come on down to your bottom.
Yeah.
Bring the soles of your feet together. And then maybe we dance here, right? Lifting one heel and shifting the body in that direction, and then lifting the other heel.
You want to even take it a little deeper into a bit of a twist. You can release that right hand to the earth, arm and inside the leg. And, you take it as deep as you want. That left arm can extend up and back. Maybe just settling it on the left hip and doing a little twist that way. Let the breath guide you when you're ready to come back to center if you're twisting. Taking the second side.
And then noticing, am I holding my breath here? Am I allowing my breath to support this movement? Just noticing that we are all experiencing beautiful sunshine today. Everywhere.
Back to center when you're ready. Walking ourselves forward onto our hands and knees.
She is really mixing it
I
up.
know, whoop! And then from hands and knees, find center here. A cat and cow. Some nice big circles. With those hips, what would feel right? What would feel nice?
Even isolating your hips here. And then isolating that rib cage. Nice big circles. Connecting with your breath again if you've lost it. Awesome, you guys. Really soothing.
Coming back to stillness when it feels right. And let's inhale that right arm out to the side. Listen to your body. Maybe it's going to reach up to the ceiling. Maybe again, just a gentle, release of the hand onto the hip or the low back. I want you to just twist a bit here. When you're ready, you're going to use the exhale to thread the right arm under the left. Come down to the shoulder, right? Come down to the cheek. If it doesn't easily connect, build up the earth. Gorgeous, guys. And then are you someone that generally extends that left leg out behind you or maybe even out to the left? Maybe today we try that. We play with that.
Yeah, Janet.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Love that.
Nice, Daniel. Yeah, play with your balance a little bit
yeah.
today. Jane, I can't see you, but I think you're doing amazing. Barbara, Eileen,
Jen, beautiful guys.
Laura, and Taco are doing an amazing job. And let yourself rest here. How can this be soft? And then you can come back, placing that knee, that left knee next to the right. Maybe pressing into your hands and just doing some nice hip circles here. So churning up that energy. Releasing.
Center when you're ready. We have a second side to do. So again, being gentle, listening to body as you inhale that left arm up, around, on hip, maybe even on shoulder. Right? Don't be afraid to explore a little bit here for a breath or two. When the body's telling you it's ready, use the exhale to release that left arm under the right to come into that second side. No rush here.
No.
Maybe we take a couple of breaths just like this, and then we play with balance or, bringing that leg out to the side or.
And if you're balancing, don't forget to breathe. Use the breath. And he is rocking that. And so is Eileen now. I can
Nice,
see
all of
that.
you.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Do what feels good.
Yeah. I love taco.
I love taco too.
And then again, from that place of deep listening, you'll know when you're ready to come out. And can we come out as mindfully as we, brought ourselves into this? So I'm thinking maybe we meet in child's pose, but what would you like to do before that? Maybe coming back to some nice big circles. And when you're ready, spread those knees as wide as you want. Or sometimes it feels really nice to keep those legs nice and close and, just kind of cocoon inside.
Or another option here is just to sit on your heels.
Yeah.
I find that to be so grounding. Maybe 3 inhales through the nose, exhales out the mouth. Softening your skin, your jaw, your eyes, your forehead. Softening your tongue. And you be just where you are with yourself for this moment. Right? Training ourselves to be with ourselves no matter what is happening. When your legs are falling asleep, you can certainly come into child's pose, maybe even puppy pose if that would feel good to you. Walking yourself forward, extending your arms forward, but allowing your butt to lift off your heels as your heart melts down towards the floor. Such a deep back bend here, but so yummy. Nice throat opener. Backs of the shoulders get a little stretch. That lower back. The toes can be tucked. Yeah, nice,
Could
Jen.
even come into a downward facing dog from
Sure.
here. If you're feeling it, guys. Your way to a seat when you are ready. You can even walk the feet forward this time and come to a seat that way if you're in down dog, right? Take a moment we always talk about this, but it's the truth. You know what you need. You have that teacher inside of you.
And then I feel like usually we're going into like the Janu Shirshasana movement and
Yeah.
twist, but you know what? Let's widen those legs, both really wide today. Not so it's uncomfortable, but let's widen them. Yeah, and then just do a little rocky motion on your sit bones. Rocking from side to side, finding that firm foundation in your pelvis. Nice, guys. And then look at your toes. Make sure that your feet are flat almost. And that your toes reach back for your hip creases. Yeah. And then from here, we're just going to shift that upper body, the upper torso over that right leg. Just beginning to gently walk yourself forward. Only as far as when your leg starts to say, the back of your leg, like, that's enough. And then you breathe into that space and maybe the sensation lightens a little bit. And maybe you go a little bit farther. Allowing your shoulders to stay lifted, your heart to stay open, your side body to remain long. And breathe deep here. Be present, be in this moment, bring your mind back to your breath. And then in your own readiness, you're going to take that right forearm. You're gonna bring it on the inside of the right shin, maybe reaching your fingers towards your instep or your big toe. Can your, first finger and thumb on your right hand reach that right big toe? Spinning your heart open towards the ceiling. And if this is enough for you, stay right here. If you want to go a little farther, bring that left arm up and over the left ear, reaching for those right toes. Yeah, stay rooted in that left hip. So you feel that length, you feel that stretch on the left side body. Nice. Barbara, we're just doing a wide-legged stretch here. Awesome. And then we're going to come up, bring yourself back up with your breath, and just twist your body towards the left a little bit. Right hand on the outside of the left leg. Breath is deep. Feel that rooting in the lower body. And then on your next exhale, come back to center and just gently begin to walk yourself forward between your legs. Again, if you're super bendy, you can go for it. But if you're not, just keep yourself lifted by pressing your fingertips into the ground, extending the shoulders back away from the floor so the heart stays lifted, the side body stays long. And exhale out the mouth.
You got it, Barbara.
Gently walking yourself back up. Taking a moment to pause and feel. And then again, we'll spin the torso over that left leg. So the spin is coming from the navel, right? So it's coming from the navel so that the right hip stays rooted down on the ground and your twist comes from the navel and then the rib cage and then the shoulders. And from here, you'll begin to walk yourself forward over that left leg. And then allow anything that feels tight or stuck in that left leg to release with your breath. Maybe close your eyes. Thank your body. Thank your breath. Your body's always trying to bring you back to balance. And then again on this side, we'll take that left forearm inside the left shin, maybe grabbing onto that big toe, spinning your right shoulder and your heart up towards the ceiling. Once again, staying here if this is enough for you. And if you want to go a little bit farther and extend this stretch, you'll reach that right arm up and over your right ear as you root that right hip down towards the floor. And sometimes it gets a little tricky here with the breath, right? It gets a little bit stuck because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of contortionism happening. And then we'll inhale back to center. Take a moment and just roll those shoulders back. And then gently spin your torso towards that right leg, left hand on the outside of the right leg. Just bringing everything back to balance, right? When we twist, then we counter twist. And coming back to center. Bringing the soles of your feet together as wide as you want. So your diamond can be like, your heels can be really far away from your pelvis if that feels better for you. Or they can come in really close to the pelvis. Today, I'm going to do it differently than I usually do. I'm gonna extend my heels away from my pelvis, right? Because this feels a little bit different, feels a little bit different to my brain. Press the soles of your feet together. Go ahead and contract your toes. And then again, we're just gonna walk forward here. Maybe taking your thumbs on the soles of your feet, giving them a gentle rub. Sending loving signals to the body. Wow, like I'm taking care of you. You can let go a little bit. I'm taking care of you. Really nice, you guys. And then when you're ready, you can come all the way back up to sit. And Margie's got a little pattern interrupting for us here.
So as you release from that bound angle, let's bring the soles of the feet together and do a little windshield wiper first. Sorry, soles of the feet to the mat. A little windshield wiper. You bring those feet wide. Use your hands behind you to support you.
I find this really helpful to do before bed, because if you've stuck any emotions down throughout the day or you've suppressed any, this helps to really release the pelvis before sleep.
Pause as those knees fall to one side and take a little twist or a big twist. Can be restorative by, using some kind of a prop, or you can keep yourself upright with the hands supporting and holding, connected to the earth. Breathe into that low back. Coming to that flow again when you're ready. And then settling on the second side when you're ready. What does this side need? Right? Does it need a little more support? Is it more open? Just always being that student of ourselves. And then again, bringing yourself back to center when you're ready. If you want to take a moment to extend the legs and a little love, a little massage right down the center, maybe one more final forward fold before we bring ourselves back onto hands and knees here with an invitation to come on into downward facing dog, or
Maybe a flow
lower,
before?
yeah, we're gonna meet on our bellies. So how do you want to get there? And maybe take the different path today. And when you arrive on your belly, right, taking your time, I'm just guiding you. You take your time. I'm not rushing you in any way. But when you arrive there, gift yourself a couple of baby cobras, maybe, as we bring those hands, to either side of the body. Make sure the shoulders are melting onto the back and you're already feeling that beautiful openness of the chest. It doesn't need to be a big, deep movement, but let the breath guide the upper half up. You can use an exhale to lower yourself back down if that feels good. Could even, as you rise on up, take a little gaze over one shoulder.
A little drunken cobra.
Yeah, lower, my favorite kind of cobra. Lower back down to the earth and inhale up, gaze over the second. These are all invitations. What, what does your body need and what feels good? Depending on the day, right? It's always something a little different. And when you're ready to just feel, that energy moving through the body, bring yourself into a moment of stillness. You could even place your hands, if you'd like, as a pillow for your head. And I always love this posture because I feel like it enhances that experience of the breath. Jen and I were talking about before class,
Yeah, you can even bring fists underneath your, so if you were at your hip bones and you go in like an inch and then down about an inch and put your fists here, right? Where that artery is, that feels really good. Like this, laying on them. Or maybe you just want to lift your feet up towards the ceiling and windshield wiper your legs from side to side.
Another favorite. Awesome.
And I just want you to pay attention up to the lift of your belly as it presses into the floor. Allow your body to melt. When thoughts start to arise, you redirect back to the breath. Not thinking about past, not thinking about the future. Being right here. And when you're ready, just allow your entire body to release. Allow your thoughts to let go. And just be. Rest. Just lay here a few more minutes. When you're ready, you'll begin to make gentle movements, maybe slowly pushing yourself into child's pose. Taking a few breaths there and then maybe walking your upper torso to the right. To the left. And back to center. Pushing up to all fours and doing a little cat and cow before you find yourself back in your comfortable seated position. Bringing your prayer hands to your heart center when you arrive, either one hand on top of the other or palms in Anjali Mudra. And today, I don't even know if I remember the words, but I feel like singing to you because this came to me when you were in Shavasana. So if you know the words, sing along. I'm actually going to unmute everyone. I don't know if I can. Oh, I can't. If you want to unmute and sing with me, you can. Whoever knows Longtime Sun. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Sa na sa na sa na. And then go ahead and slide your hands to the space between your eyes and allow your mind to bow to the beauty and brilliance and wisdom of your heart. Satnam, you guys. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Each and every one. I don't know how to unmute you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
That's yummy.
Yeah.
And
Thank
just
you
so you
very
know, it worked. I was like legit a little angry at you at sometimes. So it worked.
Oh, because we mixed it up?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Like there are some serious, like, I don't want to.
That's amazing. And as Margie and I kind of talked about this class a little bit yesterday, I said we get, even with specific teachers, we get so soothed or everything's just so familiar, right? That you expect the next pose. Like if you take someone long enough, you expect the next thing to happen. And this is actually really good for the brain to just kind of mix it up a little bit. So thanks for bearing with us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you. Such goodness, you two.
Love you guys.
I love you guys so much. Have a great weekend, okay?
You too.
Bye. Bye, Laura. Where'd she go?